How you guys doing? Today is Thursday, April 15th, 2021. What a beautiful day outside today. And with that being said, with being beautiful, some people's portfolios did not really reflect the weather. Now, did it? Well, if you're really concerned about all your EV stocks, if you're concerned about the market, well, it should be a little bit because you're not keeping up with the trends. If you're following somebody who constantly talks about the same 5, 10, 15 tickers, one, if they're getting paid through clicks, I wouldn't trust them that much, especially if the whole entire goal for them is to make money. And that's really what people do with these. If you're going to be buying EV stocks, small tech growth stocks, you're going to have a bad time. And I'll explain that before we get into the video for sure. And I'll kind of show you some different examples. If you're new here, what's up, new kid? How are you? You all right? I'm going to show you some great things for technical analysis. I'm going to show you supports, resistances, patterns, and trend lines, price action, show you volume profile, volume, EMA lines, trends, indicators, RSI, stochastic, and also vortex. These 9 things make up what I look for in convergence. No one else talks about this. No one else is talking about anything near what I talk about when it comes to this kind of technical analysis. I've basically developed this myself. If you want to look into this, I think you may really enjoy it. I don't want to spend too much time on the intro. If you are so inclined, hit the like, subscribe, and bell notification so I don't cry myself to sleep as much. I need support. No, it's okay. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But if you want to really join in on this kind of movement, I really appreciate it. Also, I do have a Discord chat if you want to look into it. Again, if you don't, it's fine. I really enjoy this kind of interaction with you guys online as well. But free trial, 7 days. Add me on Discord to say what's up, and I got you. I can give you that kind of trial. With that being said, I don't want to waste too much time. I have 10 today that are really, really good. Now, one's going to be like 5 seconds, and I'm using an example, but 9 new ones really good. I'm a bit nervous about where the market is. It's really high up there. It's low volume. When you have higher highs and lower volume, that's called a bearish divergence. Not a big fan of that. So I am bullish long term, but right now it's getting a little muddy. We're going to see. With that being said, let's get into it. So this is CCJ. I called this a few days ago. Now I do have a Discord member who called this first. I do forget their name at the moment. I know it's like a few days ago, but to them, salute. This is beautiful, honestly. The reason it's beautiful and the person who submitted it knows exactly why it's beautiful. I'm not going to talk down to them. Obviously, they know exactly what they're looking for. Strong support area. It's anywhere in here. Strong trend lines, strong pattern. Again, and this is risk management. What's happening to you guys is that you're not managing your risk. Anytime you go on these Discord chats, and I mean, again, I'm really trying to help some people in these other ones, but dear God, if you're not managing your risk with clear plans, exit entry plans written down somewhere, you're gonna have a bad time. CCJ is a very clear support area. The trend line breaks, get rid of it. If the trend line and support breaks, get rid of it, right? It's up to you. But this is showing some life. It's beautiful. I have a Python script that a friend runs for me on some Discords. Here are the top picks of the day for talking about. First one's PLTR. What would you rather play? This. I don't know what this is doing. This, whatever trend this is or support, this, or this. I mean, you tell me what looks better, right? CCJ, or would you rather play CCIV? What looks better? Look how similar these look. Is that an accident? You'd think these are peaking then becoming little valleys on accident? No. Hey, how's Mara look? Pretty brutal. I don't think this is good at all. This is bad. Even if you bought this dip, you made money. That's a bad choice, right? Down here makes sense, right? I don't like it. You can look at Riot. I mean, if you're having a hard time making money and you're playing these, God bless you, because this is not easy. This is not how you're supposed to be doing it. You're buying things that are hard to read. You're making it hard for yourself. Find things like this, and it's much easier to play, much less risk, much more reward. So if this is interesting to you, again, that subscribe button, it's right there. Why don't you just touch it a little bit? Just click it. For me? Thank you. So with that being said, let's get into it. The first one is CMA. Well, there's the charting. Or I'm going to do it with you guys. Relax. Right, so I'm going to show you what all the lines mean. The first is this. White ones are support. I think a clear support area is here. I think a clear resistance area is here. Love it. I make resistance lines orange. If I can click it. Like the fruit. orange, as we say. We also have a beautiful trend line to make my trend lines golden. Wow, look at this. It's almost like a really easy play. And I'm going to play it because it's easy to read and I'm not trying to impress anybody. Because the second you're trying to impress everybody else and do what they do, you're being an idiot. Let's turn on a volume profile real quick. This is where most of the volume happens. I can also see giant volume spikes. Look at that. If you're new here, which I think some of you guys are, Daddy likes big volume spikes. Nodes. We can see this is a gorgeous volume node. Ooh, ooh, ooh. These are supports. You can see a lot of times supports and resistances line up with high volume nodes and low canyons. This right here, we can run up the whole entire node here. That's what these usually mean. So let's put our little brackets here. You know, anyone who does this knows it's hard to do the extend, let extend right sometime at 0 degrees. This is where we're gonna have most of our volume at all these charts. The POC is red. This is where the top volume is. It's very gravitational. It's a great support, but it's a great resistance. So if you're below it, beware. But this is pretty gravitational, just there for kind of semantics for this one. If you're closer, you'll see a lot of consolidation happening. But that's what our charting looks like. Last but not least, we always put our little tag on it so we know what it is when we take screenshots for people. Beautiful. So CMA off the bat, much easier to read than like NIOs, PLTRs, whatever it is. We can also scoot this up and say this is now a support area as well, right in this area. And that's where it's at. Look at, what's the risk here? It breaks everything, 3%. 3% is what some of y'all enter a trade at, negative, because y'all just be goofing stuff up. And the best move here, worst case, 6% for a full move. You're probably thinking, why are you going to play if it's right next to the resistance? I don't understand. Well, here's the thing. Look historically. Resistance, 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 resistance. Oh, broke through and tested and took off. Resistance, 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 broke it, tested it, took off. Resistance, resistance. Old resistances become new supports. If this resistance breaks and we get above it, hold on, boys. We're going to be this for 3-6 months, printing hard. So this CMA play, fantastic, fantastic reward. 6% at least for a full move. If it breaks above it, you can hold for 3-6 months. This keeps going and be printing. If it dies, you know, 2.5%, 3, a 2 to 1 off the bat, not bad at all, easy to read. Let's check the indicators. As I said in the beginning of the channel, I'm going to show you guys EMA lines, 10, 50, and 200. On this kind of time frame, the 50 and 200 are the most important. RSI, stochastic, and volume profile, or no, volume profile I showed you, but also vortex. These three things plus the EMA lines, I do not look at while I'm scanning. These are going to be 100% me seeing them for the first time with you. I'm going to show you what I see in live time. It's pretty cool. You know what else is cool? Me. So, looking at this off the bat, the 50 broke, but what's it do? It bounces off the 50. So we have options here. We have options. You can buy off of value. I mean, price action alone with the indicators. Is this a good value? Do the indicators and the price action show a good value for your play? The second is a crossover. Now you can use SMA, MA, EMA, DMA, FMA, LMAO, whatever it is. You can use any kind of trend lines you want. Once you cross above your chosen one on your chosen time frame, that's another entry point for sure. So we can see here, is this a good value? Hell yeah, I think this is a good value. I think it can be a little bit lower, but this is definitely a good value. If it does get lower, great. I think we're going to try and test the 200 EMA area. It doesn't touch it. It doesn't get near it. Now, you can probably measure this and see, okay, before I got around 1.85%. Here it's about 3.5. So 1 to 3% anywhere in there. We can probably start testing the more value theory here. But once it crosses back above the 50, that's also a buy signal, because on this time frame with these two indicators and these EMA lines, when you get above the 50 and the 200, what happens? Print, 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 money, 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 money. So if you can get back above the 50 and you want to buy in there, also a very smart move. RSI is low. You want to see that. Stochastic, you want to see the stochastic negative 40 usually for a good value, but this is pretty fine. You want to see it also curl north. I want to see it come down, show some life, and curl north and come up first. And we can also see the vortex. The best buy-in for a swing trader would be when the green is low or when the green just crosses. We can see a consolidation happening. That means that we're kind of mixed here, so it's not really strong either way. But price action-wise, straight up, CMA looking really, really good. You're going to need to have a stop loss and a plan, but CMA compared to any other dumbass hype stocks looks way better. Next is DAO, and you're probably thinking, well, it's just a support line. Yeah, welcome. Are you making this harder than it has to be, you doofus? So this is a very simple looking support line. If we zoom back out, the 10-year, it does have lower lows, so we're not going to get overconfident. We're not going to be like, it can't get any lower than this. hell yeah, it can. Don't be an idiot. Right? It could always get lower. It's $23. There's also 23.23 numbers lower than this, so I would not get too cocky. But this is a great risk versus reward. Worst case, Ontario, if this breaks everything at 4% down, you can cut it and be like, F it, it's not worth it, and then you can buy back in if you want to, but you're protecting your capital. If it lives here, guess what? The first resistance is 9% away. Off the bat, a 2-to-1 play. Has it broken the resistance every time it's been down here? Yuppity, yuppity, yuppity. And so that means that hopefully we get above the POC, which is gravitational, pulling you up. So hopefully this is a great area to buy into. Look at it over here. Down, up, down, takes off. Down, takes off, down, takes off. So we have retest down here. DAO, super simple support read. The volume profile is in its favor. If I pull up, I bet it's going to be a capital D. Wow, who knew? Look at who's going to short this. Who's shorting this? Who's going to come in as a bear and be like, hell yeah, DAO, short it down here, big fella? Nobody, right? This is where bulls are going to buy in probably. So you may take some profits over here, but who's going to be shorting this? Not a lot of people. This is a good setup. Let's check the indicators. Once again, it bounces off the 50 and the 200. Now the 200 is more firm than the 50, but we're below the 50. So your short-term price target needs to be reflective of that. If it does get near the 50 and dies, take your profits, right? If it does get up here and dies, take your profits. But if it does break above it and retests, hold and see what it can do. RSI low, stock low, vortex is low. You buy a little bit lower, but bears are overbought, bulls are oversold. 10 out of 10. If this lives and the market doesn't take a fat shit, this should be a really good pickup. DAO, I do like it a lot. Next is FSTR, FSTR. And you're probably thinking, but this is a clear head and shoulders. I don't like it. Okay, then don't buy it. I don't know what you want from me. This is definitely a long-term bullish setup, and there's plenty of other quote-unquote head and shoulders over here, right? Like, what's this? Boop, boop, boop. Head and shoulders, I guess. I don't know. What's this? Boop, 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 right? What's this over here? Boop, boop, boop. All right, it's not real, okay? This is a much bigger trend. I like this a lot more. I saw it over here. It's already up 1.5% since I've seen it. Now, I want to see a bigger push than that long term, but I want to also buy into this, so I think it should be a little bit lower, hopefully. But if it doesn't tie this necktie and come down here to, like, 1645, the head and shoulders will not actually happen. And if it does get down below these trend line, the support area, 3%, you get rid of it anyways. Screw it, ain't worth it, right? And that's where your support. That's where my support line is. You gotta draw your own. I bet this is probably a good area for support line, but that's also where the necktie for this head and shoulders is, so I wouldn't mess with that. But higher highs across the board, recent higher low, sorry, lower low, so but this is also on a macro scale looking pretty good for a trend line. Not the best play up here if it keeps pushing higher, but if it does get lower, will be fantastic. Let's check the indicators. And once again, we have some clarity. The 200 EMA line is going to be your stop loss area. If it breaks below that, get rid of it, honestly. Especially because you can come back and buy in later, but there's better picks to have right now than this one if it breaks below 200. And if it bounces and lives, yeah, have fun. RSI low, stock low, and curling. Vortex exactly where you want it to be. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 if it's lower. But FSTR, if it holds this area, will be a really good pickup for this week into next week. So next is IQ, and you must do your own fundamental research because this drop-off is concerning, to say the least. But let's go back to the 10-year chart. Chef Boyer swing in the house. This is definitely a great support area. Can it get lower? Yes. Is it likely to? I don't think so, but I can't give guarantees. I'm not a financial advisor. So if it does break, 4%, 5% lower, get rid of it. All right, you can buy back in. Look, if you get rid of it and it comes to show's life, 5% is this. Look at this. All right, that's all you need. You need one candle to get your money back. Relax. Protect capital at all costs. Stop being stupid. So, fantastic support play. Very reminiscent of DAO, but I think this has more potential up because if it does make a full move again, we're talking like almost 50%, which would be a snack, but also at the same time, I wouldn't wait that long probably, to be honest, because this full move here, about percent a day. If I saw those kind of gains, I'd probably be good with that. But again, you would never hold through this. Like, you would never be like, yeah, I'll just hold for higher. No, I mean, it's all right. So, higher highs before, looking really good. We got to see some life, obviously. It's just falling knife. But once we see some life, it starts to curl because you see the reversals here. Curling, little bull shapes all across the board. We see some bulling happening. IQ may make me act up, might be good. Let's check the indicators. Hello, Gato. So we can see that the 50 will be a hard resistance moving forward. Until we get over that, the real staying power is not going to be evident. RSI oversold, stock oversold, bears low, sorry, bears high, bulls low. Fantastic. If this does hold again, this will take days, weeks, months to fully move. Yeah, but if you want to have a good swing on one move up, which you should be doing, IQ could be fantastic. So next is NMIH, a gorgeous trend line. Gorgeous. We can see that this is a beautiful one over a long period of time, and we're seeing some horizontal play developing. I definitely think if this continues to be a horizontal play, buying in at like 2178 or even better 21, and even better, 1981 would be even better. But I think here we have a good chance of taking off. I think it's been consolidating sideways. Some stocks like to consolidate or correct by coming down and coming back up. Some go sideways for a long period of time as buyers buy in and collect and stuff. And so if we are really going to go sideways for a long period of time, if we're going to take off, now kind of seems logical. We're at the POC, so it may be here for a while. It may be here going back and forth. But even here, a bad move is 4 or 5%. You get up there, it doesn't show life. You get out, you call it a day. But NMIH, looking really good. Beautiful channel here. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. So off the bat, you can see it's below the 200 and the 50. This is a rarity where I would actually say you have value for sure. But I think also waiting for a crossover of 1.8% higher. Holding and make sure that first candle above holds well. Because then what's the worst case? You go up and then if it does come back down, you break even. That's all right. It's not that big of a deal. RSI is low. Stock is, showing some life. It's fair, best, pushing up. And, both are overbought. So it's a bit of an oddity. But a mixed bag. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I like it a lot, but I want to see some more life or some more clarity. But NMIH, it looks pretty good. Next is SSB. It's always critical to draw your resistance trend lines, and we can see here a very clear one forming. This is a very clear triangle that's forming, and so if you want to play off of triangles, here you go, knock yourself out. And this is what's cool is that we can see a broadening top that had formed. It formed and didn't make a move, so what's it doing? Making a new pattern. I always talk about that here. If the bad boy looks like a megaphone, then it doesn't make a full, the next price action move doesn't hit that top resistance trend line, it's going to form a new pattern. And here's a great example of that. So this is a good support area. It's a good trend line. It's a good POC pull up. And so this does come up to maybe like 4, 5% up. Take your profits if you want. Long term makes a lot of sense too. I think you probably get a better price. $77 seems logical. We're at 79.40, and some of y'all are like, yeah, it's a percent, who cares? Well, you're careless, and that's why you're down 30% on Mara and Riot, and then you're going to be tooting your horn when you're only down 15%, but you do you. Let's check the indicators. Off the bat, the 200 EMA line is moist and nice. We can see that it needs to get over the 50, and I think right here, breaking above the 50 is also a great play, and holding, that's a good sign of strength to go forward. So, those are great. RSI, fair. Stock low. Vortex, fair. Again, if we have a full move, the stochastic does come true. It makes a full move up. We should break that 50, may break that resistance line, come down, retest them, and then take off. SSB, I do like it a lot. I think you have the no man's land kind of complex here. We're in between true value and below a crossover. So we're in the middle, but I like it a lot for sure. It's a good pickup. So one of my more risky, frisky plays, SVRA. This is a lower volume, cheaper penny stock. Now again, I don't like pushing things. I like to make sure the market shows me its hand, and I only find quality. SVRA did come up. I'm not a personal fan of this, but I think some folks will find a lot of value who are good at penny stocks. This trend line is gorgeous. 6 times it's hit perfectly and come back. Higher lows across this large area for sure. Now, when it comes to lower or higher lows, this could technically get about 6% lower. So your stop loss in theory has to be like 8%, and that's going to be a lot for me personally. So if it does dip more, this becomes much more lucrative to me. When it comes to risk versus reward though, your first major resistance is going to be, where this line is, but your first, if you hold for a month, $2.10, if it doesn't make a full move up there, we're talking almost 25%. So SVRA, it looks like KPTI, and if you got caught on KPTI, I bet you'll learn to use a stop loss after that one. And so I would definitely watch this. It consolidates down here, maybe down here for a few days. If we can get into like 148, 155, SVRA becomes very lucrative in my opinion. Let's check the indicators. So it's below both EMA lines, and again, when you get above both, what happens? A better chance of printing you some paper. RSI below 30. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's really good. Stock, so again, indicator wise, it's fantastic. I like it a lot. It's just for me in this market, how close to the top of the S&P we are, you know, taking on 7% risk to me is too much. And I know some of you are like, well, what are you, stupid? Ooh, like, no, I'm the one who protects capital better than most people. So I think this is a great pickup. I just think that for me, I need to have a cheaper price to buy into it. That's my opinion. UA is next. It's Under Armour. Again, I don't like Steph Curry, so this is a big step for me to even talk about Under Armour. And, you know, it's a beautiful pickup. It's a lot like Cat or Cake. It just keeps going. You know, there's no real beautiful buy-in spot. It just looks really good and keeps going. Now look at ascending, consolidating, ascending, consolidating. What's the next step? Shit, I don't know. Who knows? There's going to be ascending or descending, but I can't tell you, right? I'm not a mind reader. But this is a great area to buy into. And I say area because it could be lower, in my opinion. I think if it were to get down another 2%, that's going to be where I pull that trigger, bang, bang. So if we get down lower, fantastic. And again, over a long period of time, even over here, you know, it came down on support. You lost these higher lows, but you came down on support. And again, you're kind of seeing higher lows across the board again. Now we have a lower high, bit of a concern, but it's a strong resistance. If we can reverse before this area or this area, UA, it's looking really good. Let's check the indicators. So once again, the 200 EMA line comes up clutch on this time frame, 180 day, 4 hour if you didn't know. And this is why I use it exclusively with the 50. Below the 50, above the 200, you get above that, you're printing, and if this is a good value, I do. Could be 2% cheaper, but good value. RSI low, stock low. Bears, they're getting overbought. Bulls, we're getting oversold. UA, I think this is going to be a fantastic long-term hold. I don't think you know it's going to get any worse than this. And we can see, you know, it's dropped off. It's not done much, whatever. You know, it's had higher days, it's had lower days, but you know, it's a good-looking pickup. Worst case, you lose 2 or 3%. Best case in a good move, you know, 12 or 13, 4 to 1. It's a good pickup. Last and not least to me is URI, United Rentals. This channel, beautiful. Does it break a few times? Yeah, once, and that's okay. But this is fantastic. It's gorgeous. I mean, support is in this area. You know, it could be a little bit higher where it is now, a little bit lower. It's up to you. Resistance is pretty clear here, a little bit higher too. But a full move, which is done once, twice, you know, almost 3 times now. You know, full move, 18%. That doesn't really matter though. We talk about risk management here. It breaks everything, 3.5%. You call it a day, you get out, and then you can buy back in the next support area, 300 or so, and then you can try this again. But URI, this channel speaks for itself. It's gorgeous. Let's check the indicators. We can see right here it's bouncing off the 50 just like Cake does. That's a really great ticker that does this habitually. If we can hold above it, that's fantastic because once we get above the 50, this area can then be our stop loss. Move it all the way up. Be like, all right, I think our stop loss should be 320, and we can let this bad boy run. You know, put a stop loss, turn off your computer, let it go. Stop micromanaging swing positions. You're being stupid. It's in the middle of RSI. It could be lower, but it's consolidating. That makes sense. Stochastic could be lower. RSI could be lower. You know, Vortex could be lower. So, will we see a pullback? Possibly. I think it may be only 2-3% pullback. Maybe it does come down. Maybe, you know, 313 if it does. But price action wise, I take that over the indicators. It looks really good. So there you guys have it. There's 9 great new tickers and then CCJ. And again, I talk about this on this episode and this channel quite often. You got the whole main goal of this is to protect your capital. And if you're going to be out here with a bag of minus 50%, the mental toll that's going to take on you, the confidence you're going to lose, and eventually the money you're going to lose is going to be far worse than using a stop loss and potentially missing bigger moves. Don't be stupid out here in these streets. Again, the S&P, I'm just going to show it real quick. Why not? We can see the S&P, and it doesn't follow technicals. Okay, this is not a fully technical thing, right? But like, if this was a random ticker, my boy, if this was a random ticker, would you buy into this? Shit, I don't think so, boy. I don't think so. and this is the worst part, that's what I keep telling people, that we have a clear from here up, from here down, a clear bearish divergence. This is low volume all throughout this, and it's pushing up. Now I think we can definitely get higher. I don't want to be like scare nobody, right? We tap up here all the time. But are you telling me that this is going to be some fantastic bull market for like months? I don't think so. I think we're going to have a fat pullback eventually, come back down, and then redo it again. So I'm overall very bullish, but this is making me fairly nervous. And I think if you're going to keep playing PLTR, Mara, Riot, you want to play NIO, that's okay, I think. But any of these EV stocks, they're done. They're gone. See ya. There's nothing. The Chinese ones are gone. The American ones are gone. You got to move on. You got to find new sectors and new stuff. You want to keep playing the same exact things over and over again, you're going to have a bad time. There's more than 10 tickers out there. I know most folks say GME, AMC, and whatever. What do they call themselves? Apes now on, Wall Street Bets and Reddit. These Discords love pushing tech stocks. And then there's me. Alright, there's me. No one else does this. No one else is even talking about this. So again, if you like this kind of content, let me know. Hit the like, subscribe, bell notification. I think this will be very, very valuable to a lot of you. And again, I'm very vain. I don't know if you could tell. I need some support. If you want to like and subscribe, it means a lot. Otherwise, have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a full weekly recap. Have a good one.